And I wanted to set the record straight by saying, this is how I feel. There ain't 32 guys that's better than me. But I also know that I could also be a backup, and I'm willing to be a backup.
So Cam Newton has been in the news recently, and the clip that you just saw was from his channel, a video that he just posted about a day ago or so, outlining that he still believes that he's better than some of the QBs that are currently starting in the NFL or will be for next season. However, the difference now is that he's sort of changed his tune in that he's happy to be a backup. This is not the first time he's actually said that he's better than some of the starting QBs in the league. I think he actually went off to list some of them in the past, but I actually agree to some extent that he probably is better than some of the quarterbacks right now. However, it's about context, and general managers and organizations will be looking at the context of their situation and how Cam Newton probably doesn't fit into that. Organizations with young quarterbacks that might not be that good, you know, they're not going to bring in a 33-year-old Cam Newton who's going on 34 for even a year, because there's just no point. There's no direction in bringing him in to be a starting quarterback. He's also not the 2015 MVP he once was, who led the Carolina Panthers to a Super Bowl with a 15-1 record that year. This is a guy who's sort of been plagued with injuries towards the end of his career, and he's been out of the league for a season now. So at his peak during that MVP season, Cam Newton was sort of the quarterback to do all the things that you see from Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen today before they were actually in the league. His prime consisted of the most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback with 75. By an absolute mile, because second is Steve Young on 43. So this is a guy that at his peak would ball over defenders, and while not the quickest, not as quick as say Lamar Jackson, more probably suited to Josh Allen, although Allen is quite quick on his feet as well. This is a guy who would make defenders look silly with his size and his presence. So as I mentioned, Cam Newton is no longer that quarterback. He hasn't been in the league for a year, and I think he's starting to understand where he sits in terms of the NFL. Hence the video, which the link in the description will be there for the full one if you want to watch his full video. But he understands, or he seemingly understands, that now the only option he might have is to be a backup. And so in the video that he made, he actually has gone through a list. He's made a list of 12 quarterbacks currently in the league that he would be happy to back up. And so a different issue arises for me, at least with this, is that he's handpicked 12 quarterbacks that we're going to go through right now, where he's not really in the position to be making demands like this. But we're going to go through the 12 quarterbacks that he's put down on his list and sort of talk through each one and sort of understand maybe where he's coming from. There's a few interesting ones, but first one on the list is Deshaun Watson, who we will swiftly move on from, not because of his playing ability, but for other reasons. Lamar Jackson is the next one, and you can understand why he's picked him, because as I mentioned, very similar players. Lamar Jackson is an unbelievable runner of the ball from that quarterback position, as was Cam Newton in his heyday. And he says in the video that he's happy to go wherever Lamar Jackson goes, because at the moment there's a lot of uncertainty there. Doesn't seem like a lot of teams are actually interested in Lamar Jackson, who has requested a trade and will want a lot of money, and definitely deserves a lot of money, considering he's been an MVP in the past as well. But that's a whole different video, I guess. The next two are sort of grouped together: Justin Fields and Tua Tagovailoa, both young quarterbacks in this league, but also two very different quarterbacks. Justin Fields you can probably understand more so because of his ability to run with the ball and his size. And young quarterbacks in this league need that guidance whether that's from an elder statesman as Cam Newton or someone else. Tua Tagovailoa, I can see it to a lesser extent, especially considering you wouldn't hope Cam Newton tells him to run with the ball straight at a linebacker, because he'll probably end up with another concussion. Tua, that is. The next one's a very interesting pick for me, at least. It's Malik Willis of the Tennessee Titans, who I just don't see as a starting quarterback in this league. I feel like Cam Newton would do a better job, and that's one of the quarterbacks that he probably views that he could do a better job. Although he has got him on his list as happy to back up. But you can understand this pick as well, because Malik Willis is a big-bodied quarterback who loves to run. And then the next three on the list are three blokes that aren't in the league yet, because it's CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, and Anthony Richardson. All three of these guys will more than likely be drafted in the first round, two of them most definitely. And again, you understand these picks because rookies, they'll need that guidance. Cam Newton can provide this. The next couple, we move down to the last third of the list, and we've got some big names. And the first one is Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a guy that just lost a Super Bowl, but he's in a great team. He is a great quarterback. Cam Newton's probably looking at it and thinking, I'd love to be there for a potential ring on my finger. And then Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, one of the best quarterbacks ever. Anywhere he goes, he makes a team a Super Bowl contender, basically. And then Josh Allen. Josh Allen is on the Bills team that has been on the cusp for a while now, and it's a team that if Newton goes there, he's got potential to win a ring again. But the final one on the list is probably the most interesting and bizarre one in a way, and it's Sam Howell of the Washington Commanders. Now, Taylor Heineke is gone. He's at the Atlanta Falcons, so he's not going to be starting, and Carson Wentz has been cut. So at the moment, it is Sam Howell to start, and I think he's not actually that bad. Like, from what I've seen, he's only started one game, but he played in the preseason. And it's just an interesting pick, as I can't wrap my head around why Newton has gone for Sam Howell as the 12th man on his list. But if he does start, he would obviously, another young quarterback, he would need some guidance, and Cam Newton can, I guess, provide that. But as I mentioned, I do have an issue with the creation of this list from Cam Newton, and it's because he's in no position to dictate what or where he goes, what organization, what quarterbacks he wants to back up, or whatever the situation is. This is a guy who's not been in the league for a year and just looked at as a difficult personality to work with. But that's it for the video, guys. Let me know what you think about Cam Newton and this whole situation that's been brewing for a while now. Personally, I'd actually like to see him in the league, whether that's as a backup or a starter. This is a guy that's honestly quite entertaining to just watch in press conferences, and he's quite a character. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Newton, and whether organizations jump at an opportunity, whether that's a good one or a bad one. Could be perceived very differently. But thanks for watching. Consider subscribing and appreciate the support. Cheers.